tell someone that's only making like $200 a check, they, you know, talk about financial literacy, like, damn, like, my check can't even pay my bills. Yeah.
Hi, kings and queens. This is still Sharpn Steel.
What's up, kings and queens? We are back. This is the Still Sharpn Steel show. This is your host, John Pat, and I got my boy, Mr. Love is here.
You know the vibe, your boy, Mr. Love is Love. Guys, if you ain't do it already, please, family, hit that subscribe button. All right, whatever you take from us, you learn and you grow with it. Whatever we take from you, we learn and we grow with it as well. Please hit that like, comment, and share button.
In season 2, we have our wonderful guest. A lot of people haven't met him, but I'm going to let him introduce himself to the world.
Talk about
my beloved king himself. Let him introduce himself.
What's going on, everybody? My name is Gerald Huggins, Brooklyn, New York. I'm glad to be here, man. We tried this before.
You know what y'all
always happen.
Things happen, but we were able to, you know, build bond. You know what I'm saying? Haven't seen y'all in a minute, so it's good to see y'all again.
Come here, bring it in.
There's always love. You know what I'm saying? I said, you know how you taught me that, King.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Today we're gonna really just spill back all the layers. You know, we all on the same mission. Looking for Black victory, Black progress. I want to talk to you about your experience when you was a child, like you growing up in the style. So tell me how was the experience growing up in Brooklyn?
Yo, Brooklyn, like specifically Bedstuy, was like, what people don't understand, was extremely like segregated. Like you didn't really see a lot of people that didn't look like me and you and you. Like it was, you know, it was like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm like, yo, Bedstuy was the blackest place ever growing up in the 90s and the 2000s. It was fun too, you know what I'm saying? It was like...
Was it fun or was it dangerous?
Bro, I mean, I guess for people from the outside looking in, let's say that shit was dangerous in the 90s and 2000s. And they have stats to prove how dangerous it was.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, man, I think, like, you know, it was crazy. They said this past summer was like the bloodiest since 06. So I was like, damn, maybe it was a little crazy.
Nah, 2020 summer was wild.
Yeah, that's not the Brooklyn I grew. I mean, don't get me wrong. Let me stop. Okay, Brooklyn wasn't peaches and creams.
It wasn't a walk in the park.
But I knew everybody. You know, my dad, he did a lot of real estate in the neighborhood. Like, he did a lot of Section 8, so you know what that means. So, like, everybody knew my pops do real estate. He helped people get apartments and houses all over the place in the hood. So, I mean, my family, we had a good life. You know, inside the crib, it was straight. Look, like, pretty much like a Cosby family.
Yeah.
But, you know, I grew up on Buffalo Avenue between Herkimer and Atlantic.
Yeah.
So, that's right.
Like in the heart of Bedstuy.
Yeah, that's right between... Kingsborough Peas and Brevoort.
And Brevoort, yeah.
And you know how that was back in, I don't know how it is now. Like, I guess they're peaceful, but back then it was like they had their little situations and every block party got destroyed on Herkimer. It was...
Yeah, I feel like this community definitely lost over time, especially like Brooklyn. You see Crown Heights now versus 10, 15 years ago. It was definitely two different settings, you know?
Yeah. I think what I noticed that my experience growing up is being so black, it was different from everybody else, and I didn't realize that until I started like really going out and talking to people from different backgrounds and stuff. Like my girl, like she didn't come, like her family was like, you know, very pro-black. You know, she grew up in the suburbs, and like she was like the black girl, you know what I'm saying? But she was never really like, you know, comfortable being around, you know, other folks, other folks. But you know, her parents always kept her like in Newark, you know, in places like that. You know, in Jersey City, with big black population to keep that balance. So, you know, I had to realize, like, dang, maybe me having 98% black educators and black this, black that was very rare,
very helpful.
You know.
But how important would you feel like that is for everybody that's going through the educational process?
Trying to think of who said it. Someone said, I can't remember who said it. It was like, basically, to paraphrase, can't have the press to teach you about you. I'm pretty sure 1,000 people said that shit before. But yeah, I mean, being in education, you could just see the differences when you have certain teachers that come from the middle of nowhere, these random ass Midwest states, and come to Bedstuy, Brownsville, Crown Heights, and they try to teach black kids. And you got a guy like me who's from here, and I know how to, you know, vibe with them, you know what I'm saying, connect with them. So that's why they always calling me, you know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say the name of my other school I was at, but they won't say me. It was like, hey, like, I don't know what to do with him or her. I can't, you don't understand where they're coming from. You don't understand that, you know, this student probably coming from Linden Peas, you know what I'm saying, like that. You never experienced nothing like growing up in Linden Peas. Shit.
But you did.
Shit, I ain't even.
Well, I'm not saying
I have family in the Peas, but you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know. I'm not gonna take that experience from other people. I'm not going.
But you know what it's
like.
But
yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean,
you understand the culture.
Yeah, my family grew up in Farragut PEs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I understand. It's just like you see it. So it's definitely a benefit, definitely for someone that look like us to be in education. It took me a minute to grasp that. My cousin Paul, who's also our frat brother, he really like urged me, and my sister as well, urged me to get into education. So that's why like that movie Soul that just came out, when you talk about your passion or your purpose. And I was like, my passion was like doing this, actually media, podcasting and stuff. But then I was like, yo, it's not my purpose, you know what I'm saying?
It's the bigger picture.
The bigger picture is for me to teach, you know what I'm saying, in my own way. Because don't get me wrong, I'm not the smartest motherfucker ever. I'm not the smartest motherfucker in the room. I just know what I know, and I know what I read. And if I don't know, I'll ask. And if I still don't get it, then I'll figure it out later.
Yeah, life is a school, forever school. We always, we a student in growth mode every second. So
that's a practical way to be aware of yourself. A lot of people could be very ignorant and don't have the intention of having an open mind.
That's a fact.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's a practical way of looking at things. I'm listening.
No, go ahead.
Let me ask you, what's the essence of a black man and a black queen? A black king and a black queen, forgive me.
So I'll say black to me. So we talk about from like from the external, we talking about externally, internally. We talking about like just the look, or we just talking about how you feel. Or we talking about everything combined.
Not even just as far as like how you look, but as far as like how you move, your actions wise.
Well, man, we're naturally born like we're in tune spiritually, in my opinion, just based off what I've read. We're naturally intuitive, and we're naturally understanding of our roots. We love our roots, and we love our ancestors. Yeah. That's why we give love to our ancestors.
Very much so.
People give libations, to their ancestors. Whatever.
Very much so.
Whatever religious practice you have, like the ancestors have a play in that. People will have that conversation with it. So like being black and being very in tune with your ancestors, being very in tune with yourself. And being in tune with your blackness, which means just learning your history, understanding your history, knowing that, realistically, not everybody was a king and queen, but it's more about the affirmation point of it, like calling yourself king, calling yourself royalty, but you are.
We are always,
So black is like, black, we were first mathematicians, first scientists, we were astrologists, you name it. Even when it comes to fighting, we're original art forms, most of the original art forms come from
Look at hockey.
I mean, listen, it's
Battle Royale, Jack Johnson. Well, it could go down to just.
Yeah, I did African martial arts, so it's like it's cool. It's very life changing. There's a spiritual aspect to it. That's why I said all of it comes together. We're also warriors, sisters and brothers. That's a thing that we've always been. That never changed. I know people try to shift the narrative due to colonization and transatlantic slave trade. Like folks wasn't out there scrapping like, nah, you're not taking us over there. But that wasn't the case. And everybody know when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, or when it comes to the sword,
we always victorious.
When it comes to the spear and the shield, man, ain't nobody was rocking with. Nobody could really go hand-to-hand with Africans, and that's why they had to get gunpowder.
Get guns, yep.
So and then when they introduced guns into Africa, that set colonization off to a whole nother level. So
let me ask you, when did you feel like when you was growing up in the style, you developed that blackness? I know you talked about the Cosby household, that setting. It had to be an inspiration around like your father, your mom, maybe your grandmother. When did you get that sense? Like, you know what? I'm standing for me, standing for black first. When did you get that sense?
My mom and my dad and my grandma. My grandma, she used to run around with the Panthers back in the day. I had an uncle that was a part of the Panthers back in the day. So I always was very in tune. My mom was more like, she was very, very pro-black. She was like the sister that was able to make it into Manhattan and get up in the top floors in Manhattan.
It's a milestone,
sit in those rooms, you know what I'm saying? She worked for HBO, ING Direct, Fulton Grove Partners. So she was like that. She was the one that was able to
really
invade those spaces. Yeah, she invaded those spaces. And then my dad was a real estate broker back when like black folks were buying houses left and right during the late 90s. And you know what I'm saying? Early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, like it was good.
Things was cheap.
Yeah, and like he loved his people. That's why he never really wanted to leave the neighborhood.
That's dope.
Yeah,
he loved his people, things are cheap. So he was like, they go hand in hand.
He helped get a lot of people housing. Everything like they taught me, like they let me have fun as a kid, with Christmas and all these different Tooth Fairy, all that shit. But eventually it came a time where they just had to sit down and break down history to me. I've always loved Muhammad Ali because I can remember them dressing me up beat Muhammad Ali in elementary school. Then like even my elementary school was like extremely pro-black. Like
Yeah,
we
mine
had,
as well.
Yeah, like it was something I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? I saw it all the time. I've seen Pan-African flags every now and again. I've seen
Really?
Yeah, growing up.
See, that's so cool, bro. To see that growing up. But I didn't see that. I was raised on in 1st to 5th grade. You know, the American flag. Like seeing like I didn't see the Pan-African flag. I didn't even know what that was until I got older. You know, but seeing that at a young age, you know, it gives you that mentality. It gives you your worth. You know.
Yeah, and like my parents always told me my worth, man. They just told me. Remember, it's just funny, a little off topic, but I remember I was watching the Britney Spears was popping back early. So I remember I was looking at the TV. I blew a kiss at the TV like I was like 6, bro. I had to be like 6 or 7 years old. And my mom snapped. I was like, oh, that was my code, Black love only, baby, because that was my. I was like, oh, all right. She was like, don't you ever do that.
No Britney.
No, Britney.
I don't know.
You're not jumping no.
That'd be Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, that's
that melanin got a kick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's.
So would you say it was like the DNA? Like, would you say it was in your DNA already? Like it was hereditary?
Yeah, bro. I had no choice, but to be who I am right now. But of course, there were other factors. Once I got older, that helped. Of course, I started reading. I've met people that I've had some other type of mentors that help with that as well. So yeah, it's been great though. I love it. I love how I am. You know what I'm saying? I've had to work to get to a certain point where I truly understand myself, but. It's been great upbringing. I don't change it I wouldn't change it. I recommend the upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Because it taught me what your household could look like on the inside, and it taught me what the realness of the streets are on the outside. Yeah, I jumped off the porch, but I jumped my ass right back on the.
Reality hits sometimes.
It humbles you.
Yeah, man. We all wanted to jump off the porch, and some of us did. And some of us stayed.
Yeah.
And some of us went back in the house.
So how important would you say is the black household to the black family?
It's very important, man. There's a lot of scholars out there that have broken down how the government has found a way to purposely disrupt the black family between the different wars where black men had to fight. And us dying in that aspect, leaving the home, leaving black women at home on their own during multiple world wars. That then coming back, and people that leave war had to deal with, and coming back, and you can't really get a job. So you're trying to fight to get a job and fight to be the man in your family, be the head of the household, pay all the bills. That was the stress that was put on the woman. The woman
on the black woman. This happened multiple times in our history.
That makes sense.
So then like the stress of, and then you got like brothers had to go to Vietnam, and then they come back home, and then we had to deal with heroin, and then after heroin we had to deal with crack, and all these different things that have affected the black community. Ultimately took a lot of black men away, and it left black women on their own for the most part.
Yeah, because women had a lot of inequality, but the black woman was just like
they have to deal with way more,
more of a disadvantage.
So like to try and come in and like sweep in while black men are just getting either killed, or they're not educated, or they're getting sent away for hundreds and hundreds of years. There were white women try to come in and like, hey, listen, we're alike, we're women. Yeah. Come with us. It kind of, I'm not gonna say black women just fell for that, because not all of them did. But there were a few, I'm sure, that fell into the trap of the white feminism trap. Not womanism, white feminism. There's a difference, and there's a clear difference between womanism that really focuses more on the black family compared to white feminism that just focuses on white women, and whiteness will always come first, regardless if you're a woman or not. They will always put their whiteness first. So that's why I tell people that black people need to put their blackness first, because every other group will put their race before any other label. I
tell people all the time, like, I don't have a problem with racism. It's more of white supremacy, because if anything, like, the race is just a word, but the ism is just a plural of doing it and putting yourself first. That's what white people do. That's what Jewish people do. They put themselves first. It is white supremacy. Like, I don't fuck with white supremacy. They try to make us, feel inferior. So it's just an ism. Like, black people need to start putting themselves first and being black oriented before anything type shit.
Now us black people, we gotta start taking care of our own. It sounds contradicting.
It
sounds very contradicting, but it's like you said, race is just the verb.
We gotta put ourselves first.
And then the ism.
You gotta be racist.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, race is the noun, forgive me, and ism is the verb, the plural way of actually taking the steps to do it. So if you wanna push your people first, push your race first, you gotta do the things
It's kind of going back to like
black people need.
Yeah, it's kind of going back to like integration. Like, you know, people ask people all the time, was integration one of the best things that happened to black people? It's a lot of pros and cons. I think more is like a negative result. But it's like putting yourself first. Like black people, like, you know, like Jewish people in Crown Heights, they desegregate themselves, you know? And it's kind of going back to the question, like, is the solution desegregating like the black community?
Yeah, that's what that's what I know. Khalid Muhammad said it. Marcus Garvey said it.
Malcolm X said it.
Yeah, they've all hinted at. Not even some did more than hint. Some were very outspoken with it. That separation is key.
Yeah.
Because we just haven't been. Well, the system is working just fine. The system is working how it's supposed to work to keep us where we're at. And anytime, as you can see with the stock market, when we try to figure out their game, they always trying to switch the playing field. You know, so they
explain that. Like, well, we in this time frame of everybody learning how to make money virtually, Bitcoin, stocks. What happened recently that I've been seeing it because I haven't tapped into the stock market world yet, and I really want to. We're gonna do that off camera. We good. But explain in a quick gist like what happened.
So I'm new to the stock game. I've been in it for about a year. So I'm gonna try and make it very simple because people try to make things very complicated. Basically, they tried to get a lot of plays and put a lot of money into these shorts, and they were going to make a ton of money off all these shorts when they were shorting like GameStop and AMC.
I seen the GameStop thing.
So due to that, people like us, normal people, not normal, we're all normal, but you know, people that are just like beginner traders and people that on Robinhood, they started playing their hand as well.
Yeah.
So they were putting a bunch of options and a bunch of money into these different stocks.
And the shit about to plummet.
Yeah, and then ultimately the shit just popped. It just boomed.
Like
and then once the hedge fund guys found out, they was like, oh no, we're the only ones that could be making that kind of money because people would become millionaires overnight. People
they call it.
Yeah, they pulled it. Listen, they were just playing the same game that we were just playing the game that they play. And a lot of people's thought pattern is, well, let me just finish it. Let's just say that they was like, nah, we don't need to making that type of money. So what they did, they reached out to different stock applications, where people could buy stocks or whatever, and they was telling them like to halt buying on certain stocks. So they went like a whole day and a half almost of them being able to, hedge fund guys being able to play with the stocks.
Oh, so they had control.
They had control, and people like us, they was like, we couldn't buy AMC, we couldn't buy Dogecoin anymore, we couldn't buy GameStop, we couldn't buy Nokia, we couldn't buy Naked. All these different stocks that were supposed to be making everybody millionaires, they just halted it and let them play with it. And now Robinhood, like the biggest application. They're talking about now you can just buy a limited. I think only you can buy more than 20 shares of AMC right now. I'm not sure if you could buy. I don't know how many you could buy at GameStop. They're not even letting you buy Dogecoin anymore. So the people that have Dogecoin, they're not even accepting their payments yet. So hopefully on Monday their payments will get cleared. And then, Dogecoin will be popping again. Like Dogecoin, they want to get it to $1. And if you caught it at the right time, I got 20,000 coins of Dogecoin. Mm-hmm. So they hit $1. I'll see y'all, later, chilling. Like I'll holler at y'all. I'm about to put my money in certain places, and I'm gonna be good for life. So I'm out. But I'll come back periodically.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that happened. Like I was seeing it on Twitter, the social media. Like a lot of people affected by it. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know how much of the impact it really had. Like a lot of people just lost a lot of money.
No, that's a war, bro. It's a war. It's literally like
financial war.
That's literally the 1%. Was like, nah, y'all can't make this money. Only we can. That's literally what they said. That's without all the technical words.
The most simple way.
That's the simple way. They was like, no, y'all cannot make this money.
Legit.
Yeah.
On CNBC.
Yeah, they made it very clear. Yeah.
Everything.
They didn't even hide it.
Like
that's the boldness.
Several interviews, they just you could see the frustration. You see the frustration. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn. Like the market is supposed to be for everybody. At the same time, these hedge fund guys, the big money market, the big money, the big companies, you know what I'm saying? They have more control of the algorithms in the market. You know what I'm saying? So if they want to shift the market, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They just pull their money.
Yeah. If it's for everybody, they was like, yeah, it's for everybody, but y'all can't be making our kind of money.
That's what I was about to say. Like they don't want black people or just normal people to have that much access to get money so quickly.
Capitalism, bro.
Capitalism, bro. It's just
It's not even just black people, it's just capitalism.
Capitalism.
Because you got a lot of black millionaires, billionaires, you know what I'm saying, up there in the markets. They don't give two shits about the little people.
Listen,
you know what I'm saying? It's capitalism.
It was
Money
all,
makes the shit go like this.
It was all races mad. They was all, every race was mad they getting their money played with. So that's the only thing that brings fucking people together, I guess, money.
Unfortunately,
yeah, that's the only thing that bring, that I know a lot of people talk about class, class issues.
Classism.
Class, I get that too, but it's always a difference. It's levels. Racism and classism is two different animals, not even comparable to an extent. So, but I get it. Money, people getting their money taken from the 1% will bring it. That bring the 99% together and go against the one, whatever. But once we done.
Peace.
Yeah.
Let us be. Y'all do your thing. Cool.
If you don't mind me asking you, we can talk about this off camera too.
Mm-hmm.
20,000 dog coins. What is that equivalent to?
So I bought it at a half a cent. So now it was at almost 8 cents. So I had 20,000 dog
and you
coins.
get to $1, my brother.
Yeah,
Sayonara.
I tell you, and if that bitch go to 10 or 100, y'all never.
But see, look,
If you get the Bora, can you kill me and wifey to get like a little piece of the island, bro? 20 dog coins, bro. And you quarter for the half.
Yeah, half a cent.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild. You bought it at what?
I had it at a tenth of a cent, but then I sold it at a half of a cent. Then I got back in at a half of a cent.
That's not bad.
So
You got a good entrance again.
So I was like, shit. So I'm sitting on that.
Whole lot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
longevity. You
Yeah,
let this, you let the shit duplicate. You let the money
compound and all that.
That's it.
Let me ask you, how important? Because I think this is something that everybody needs to know. How important is discipline when it comes to the stock market? Like that soft skill of discipline, keeping yourself like, you know what?
Patient.
I'm not going to touch it. I'm structured to say, I don't need to take my money out.
They always say
pump faking and shit.
Don't put money in the market you're not willing to lose. I'm willing to lose $200 because I've spent $200 on terrible things. Definitely, yeah. I've spent $200 on bull. So if I want to put $200 that may potentially turn into like a lifestyle that I could do whatever I want and just relax my bones and I ain't got to worry about nothing, I'm going to leave that 200 right in there.
No, seriously.
So that's it.
Only assign money that you are willing to either gain or lose on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just throw money that you're going to need to pay your bills a couple days.
I don't do that.
Because now you're going to want to back out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Everything allocated. Everything
Like
got
you
allocated.
ain't really go up. Like you just play the same level.
Yeah, that's a fact. And set a goal for yourself. I mean, mine was like I wanted a stack in the market a month, and I'll be okay. That was my goal.
That's not bad.
So shit.
Let me ask you, if anybody wanted to learn the stock market, like an amateur, what would you tell them? Like, what's your advice? What's
Come
the
to this
first
group
thing?
I'm in on Facebook called the Financial Vault, and if you need to follow me on Facebook, Gerald Huggins Jr., and I will put you in the group. That thing there, we be putting in plays. It's free because there's a lot of people that try to make money off of giving people potential plays or potential gainers, and if it don't work out, they still got your money. So that's what I say.
Money after all.
I say stay away from those people. They mean well, but for me, like I had someone hit me up, was like, "Yo, bro, I made mad bread off the stuff you posted on IG and Twitter." I was like, "Cool." He was like, "You should start a YouTube channel where you get paid." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good, son. I'm just all my people's eating. I'm Gucci. That's all I care about."
That's dope.
So I just that's in this, bro. This stock market could be like exactly what we need. You know what I'm saying? Like
definitely,
yeah.
I appreciate that.
It's a revolutionary tool at this point. It ain't the '60s no more.
Let me ask you, really quick. Is it fair to say that, because financial literacy is very important, but it's very negated in several communities, especially the black community? Would you say certain curriculums was designed, I'm saying, to keep black people from really elevating?
I'll say my boy Khalil, one of the
shout outs to Khalil too. I got to
my boy Khalil would definitely say that just saying financial literacy. Actually, my boy Khalil and Brandon would say just to say financial literacy and you'll be good is just very that's just very basis, and you can't really. It's hard to equate that when you have like our situation. Like you trying to tell someone that's only making like $200 a check they talk about financial literacy. Like, damn, like my check can't even pay my bills.
Yeah.
So I can't save. I can't put money in the market.
Yeah, and that's tough. It's tough.
So that's why, like, he'll say something like that. He'll say it way better than that. But you can't just to say, hey, poor person, here, that $10 you have left over to do whatever you want with it, here, just put it into Bitcoin and then just let it ride out. I mean, yeah, but that motherfucker's hungry.
Yeah,
like,
they don't talk about what happened that got
Right.
them where they at. Like, people don't talk about post-traumatic slavery, not even just that, but people don't talk about what happened in these past years that make, is the result of.
You don't want to lose money if you're already poor.
Yeah.
So, like, to just go, some all these people on social media talking about, pay me to tell you how to get rich, preying on poor people that know they out down
No,
there.
they don't got a dollar.
Man, fuck them people, dog. I hate those
Instead
people.
of helping. And that just shows you how much the world is so money oriented. Like, people just look for capitalism, a dollar, bro.
Yeah. People are very opportunists.
Like, if I have a play on the stock market that I know is gonna jump $100 on per share,
I'm telling anybody.
I'm telling all my homies, man.
Yeah.
I'd be confused. I'm like, what do y'all gain from hiding that shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do y'all gain from, like, we could all three make $1 million, and then we could all three put $100,000 a piece into some property. Now look at that shit. Now we got property. Like,
Now you putting people in homes.
Yeah.
Now we got assets.
Now you taking in black people off the streets.
That's
Now
why
you build the community. You know what I'm saying?
I be so confused, bro. I can't live like that, though. Maybe that's probably why I'm not as rich as I should be, because I'd give a lot of.
You give more than
and that's okay. And you know what? That's okay. I could live with that, because I can't be that money hungry. Because you do, and if you all you care about the money, you fuck me over with some bread, and I need some people that can separate. Like,
if money is your only focus, I can't be your friend. I can't be somebody that we can't mingle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta love something else, man. I can't fade it.
You too money oriented. Is like you going to at least like backstab me some way, somehow.
It's funny. This feel like deja vu. Like you said this on the first episode when we was together. You can't, like, if you are a friend of somebody that's too money oriented, you gotta
Don't get me wrong. I love having money too, but that shit is not about to be my everything. Everywhere I move is not gonna be because of money.
Yeah.
Bro. I just can't. It's something more you gotta have to it. Even if it, passion, purpose. Even though you should know what each is for you. Like, damn, like, have something you like to just do for free. Like, every hobby ain't gotta come with a price tag. Like, if you like knitting, just knit.
Just do it.
Yeah, just knit. If you like sewing, just sew. You ain't gotta put money into it. Money hungry.
A lot of people be money hungry.
You get to my nerves, I'll be thinking.
Yeah, that shit is bad.
But make your money.
But look at just the state of black economics. Like you said, Khalil was really economic oriented. But when you look at just black people, we a $1 trillion industry, bro. We spend so much money and don't put it back to our communities. They don't put it back. But then you gotta understand why the mental is that way. You know what I'm saying?
I get it, son. I do. Trust me. I understand everybody, bro. Because I see both sides of it. Some people don't believe they gonna live that long, so they just spend the money they got.
You gotta give people
credit. Yeah, that's a
YOLO bullshit concept.
And that comes from some people not the life expectancy isn't high, and there's determining factors for that. So they believe, like, hey, I got it, I'm gonna spend it, I'm gonna live my life. I ain't come from shit, so you want to tell me I can't spend it because you want me to be a part of something? Listen, I get it, but those people get left behind sometimes, and that's all right, because there ain't no reason why is to be a broke NBA player, a broke NFL player, a broke musician. Like, bro, I can imagine, like, they say, I guess what think of a little baby right now probably make like $100 on a concert, easily. Like, bro,
you said 200 occasion.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, like, bro, I can't imagine you just give me $1,000 one day, and I don't put at least half of that into the market or something, and I'll just make my play. It's baffling.
It's the mentality, though.
But I can't blame them, because you know what? They don't be coming from nothing, bro. A lot of us, I was blessed, bro. I had two parents. I had a good life, bro. I lived in the hood, but I had a good life. You know what I'm saying? So I understand what both sides look like, but I've also been poor as hell as an adult. Yeah. Like, sleeping on the floor, sleeping in my car type shit. So I get it. So I know when I got my full-time job up here, I went on 3 vacations last year. But, come on, folks. We
gotta wake up. It's
yeah,
like,
you know,
the bigger picture is not about now.
I ain't mad at y'all for spending your
But
bread.
still, yeah. Because let me ask you, do you get fault? Do you feel conflict when you see these black entertainers, these black athletes not putting back money? You know, like a lot of these entertainers, these black people that make these black celebrities, do you get fault for them to not? Like you said, you know, like Little Baby Me was raised differently from Brian or from Gerald.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So you can understand why they don't put money. You know what I'm saying? But do you give them fault?
I think once you get to a certain point, like you're an entertainer, man, like you have all the resources that we have, plus more to be able to create wealth and be able to put enough wealth back into your neighborhood. But I mean, some of them feel like they don't have to give back. They just feel like, hey, I made it out. I mean, I'm good.
And that's really a lot of people's thought pattern. They're like, yo, I'm just trying to get out.
Yeah. Some people feel like they're not obligated to give their money away.
No, they're not. I mean, granted, if we don't like them having all that damn money, then we got to start spending on them. But guess what? We're not going to start spending on them because we enjoy their music. We give them all the attention in the world. That's why, like, you got Young Boy never going to go. He's never going to go broke because he's making money off just YouTube. Like people like my nephews, kids like my nephews age, like 15, just have Young Boy just playing all day on their YouTube channel, just
and
playing.
It's streaming, and they just doing whatever. But he's that view or that shit.
That is facts though, because he always had the little kids, the babies.
Yeah,
that's why the youth is so important. But when you look at music and how it's the bullshit, bro, how it's accepted in today's community, bro. And you look at like my little brother, he listened to Pop Smoke and you know these rappers that be spitting this drill shit, but it's like. I know it's not really helpful for him, you know what I'm saying?
But he's not at the same time.
They live in their reality and he get to see spectrum, but you gotta have that person in the house that can tell him the difference, the disparity between certain shit.
So that the environment won't consume him.
Exactly. You know, be a leader, not a follower. Because all these people be followers, bro. People don't be leaders. People don't like to build leaders around them. People don't like to say no to shit and just do their own thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. I mean, it's hard to, you know, not be cool. You know what I'm saying?
That's the right word.
Like, you know, some people want to be cool. You know, people and then they know cool is this ignorant shit. I mean, and I don't get me wrong. I got my students call. He's like, well, Mr. Huggins, but they had NWA back in the day. So what? You know how you feel about that? I'm like, you know what? Touche. I mean, listen, that was the era. The era was the '80s and.
It was harsh.
It was hard.
It was gangster. Yeah, Ice Cube and them was gangster.
Wow.
So, I mean, now these dudes now. Do I know? I don't know if they're gangster or not. But
they come off real.
But they
gangster.
come off. I mean, yeah, everybody's a shooter. But I mean,
on camera.
Oh, and people just put out. If you're gonna be a rapper, if you're gonna put the guns in your video, take your finger off the trigger. Have some trigger discipline, please. Jesus Christ.
Talk.
I mean, I could imagine being a camera guy. I'd be like, fuck this.
Nervous.
Yeah, I'm nervous, dog.
Nervous. You a nut, bro.
Dude got a whole sawn off with his trigger finger on the
seriously.
trigger.
There's been too much issues where it's like accidents happen.
Yeah, I'm good, bro.
Too much. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what that's what they used to be. Why I be talking to my kids and advisor. I'd be like, yo, what do y'all listen to? And I give them one opportunity to play a song. I'm like, oh yeah, we're never playing your music in this.
Give me an experience. Give me a scenario.
Bro, they played
who they play?
Young Boy.
Nah, it was worse.
Not Uzi.
Who's the Young Boy?
Is that
Blueface? Worse than that.
God damn.
It's another. Oh, Trippy
Red.
Trippy Red.
Oh,
and
Playboy
Cardi.
Not even no Nip.
Nah, they're not. They're very. These are what 13, 14-year-olds. They're very.
My little brother listened to Nip, and he 14.
But that's
16, 17. He a little up there.
He older,
he a little up there.
That's one person.
These kids, I think these kids love they young. They like the Young Boy or whatever. Yeah. I make them listen to my playlist in the morning.
What you playing? Jazz?
Yeah, I play like jazz. I play like some old hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Give me a top 5.
Ooh.
We like to do that on the show, still Sharpn Steel, you know. Give me a top 5. Give me a top 5.
My favorites or who I think are the top 5 greatest. That's two different things.
Give me a top 5 favorite.
My favorites, okay. Groups included, or
this is just groups included. That could be considered one.
I like groups. All right. When it comes to rap, number 1, Nas the GOAT.
All right, cool.
I don't care what anybody got to say. Nas the GOAT. Big L cracks my top 5. My favorite.
He got it.
Yo, that was my top. Yo,
my top 5 favorite. Wale, he's one of my favorites. I listen to.
Yo, I never knew you fucked with Wale that much.
Heavy. My family from the DMV. So
Get
like
that.
I remember
It makes
listening.
sense.
I remember listening to Wale back when he was on Madden. Breakdown.
Yeah.
That song Breakdown was my first song I heard from him. He had the go-go beat in the back.
Yeah.
But More About Nothing is one of the greatest pieces I've,
I like the intro about nothing and the more about nothing.
that where like what he was able to do was make Seinfeld like cool. Cause I didn't really like Seinfeld, but he kind of made it cool.
He
like,
made it cool to like
Yeah.
Seinfeld.
And
You know
what
what
was
I'm
we
saying?
talking about that the
The
other
other
day?
day, like you listen to Seinfeld in that album, you like, let me go watch Seinfeld.
Yeah, let me-
You know what I'm saying?
you know what I'm saying?
What album was that?
That's the intro about nothing, and then he got and Seinfeld was also on the more about nothing as well towards the end.
These are my favorite. Not saying they're the best. These are my favorite. So I turned like Nas, Big L, Wale, Wu-Tang, my favorite group, and that's number 4. And I guess to round out my 5, who I listen to the most, I listen to Fab the most.
He from Brooklyn though.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah,
this
yeah,
nigga.
yeah.
No, so
This nigga has a
I mean, when it comes to like who I spend on my
Nah,
albums,
because he bar for bar. I get it.
Nah, but
get
like, I tell people all the time, like, so like mixtape Fab.
Soul Team.
yeah, different Fab. Back in the day, Fab. Yeah,
I argue that for his
That
music,
pen?
his music, like, I tell him like there's hasn't been a better mixtape rapper. Everybody keeps saying Weezy. I will argue Fab to the death, bro. When it comes to mixtapes,
I think Fab had more. Of
that's his
era
best
than
work.
Wayne.
His best work is
Is
his
it mixtape?
mixtape.
Soul Tape 2,
Yeah.
Soul Tape 3. What else we got? What else we got?
Oh well, shoot, you got the summertime shootout.
Summertime
The
Shootout.
Bring It
I'm
On.
not even gonna go to summertime shootouts. Yeah,
Soul Tape 1 and 2.
Yeah, Soul Tape.
Dice and Pineapple. Louis
RP
Vuitton.
to the competition.
Like, yeah, there's no
Yeah.
competition.
There's no competition, my bad, yeah.
Good. I'm saying
1, 2, and 3.
Come on.
So that those
Before we
9.
even get to the summertime shoot, those is more calmer Fab, but he
Yeah.
like to chill.
Yeah, but the
Yeah.
Soul Tape, that was like those 3 right there. You can't put 3 mixtapes against that.
Soul Tape 2.
But no ceilings though.
That's
Nah,
all
but it's
people
only
say.
like 2.
Like, I know.
That's it. Fab got like listen. All of Fab's mixtapes would have been platinum albums. He just I don't know who does his selection, bro. That shit.
Yeah, he became the mixtape rapper. That's what people looked at as Fab,
that's
you know,
fine.
and that's fine. But he solidified his spot.
And he kind of, he definitely did. You know what I'm
He
saying? 'Cause
solidified his spot.
he opened up other lanes for himself. As far as when summertime shootouts came out, he just started promoting.
He held Brooklyn down.
Crazy.
He held Brooklyn down, bro.
Yeah.
Like, then people say Jay-Z, and that's true. But I feel like Fab was more of the connection from generation. Let me ask you. So we talked about music. How you feel about the music conscious rappers today?
Who are they?
You got the Wale's, you got the Coles, you got the Kendricks, you got the people. You know.
Y'all think Cole is that deep?
Nah, Cole's wild, bro.
Yeah, he's
I don't know, yo. I want to.
I'm gonna give you some Cole shit to make you be like, you know what, Ja's right.
I think he's deep to the people that don't read.
Really. Well, so
Cause nothing he says is that deep to me.
you feel like he never said like no metaphorical like.
I don't think Cole has even said anything more thought provoking than the Afrocentric Asian, half man, half amazing. That should have made you think for about a day. Cole has never made me. That's a very simple bar for Nas. Too.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't think even Cole has come up with anything like that.
I'm gonna sing some shit. I'm gonna let you see.
Like conscious rapper vibe.
Yeah,
Like
who
he's
you
not.
fuck with?
Oh come on.
You don't like Kendrick?
I mean conscious. I mean, it don't conscious rapper. I guess you got to get a def. When I think of conscious rapper, I think of KRS.
Oh, man.
You know, KRS-One. You know what I'm saying? Or Boogie Down, like all that. I think about like. Ooh, I mean, you could say Rakim has some conscious shit. You could say Gangstar has some conscious shit. You could argue that.
You heard the song with Cole and Gangstar recently?
Nah.
I'm gonna send it to you. Like it kind of gives
Primo
you.
made the beat.
I don't know. It gives a nostalgic vibe though, like a '90s vibe. You know what I'm saying? So,
Cube has some conscious shit. I'm reading this book now on Khalid Muhammad, man.
Yo, speaking about Khalid Muhammad, you know, we like to talk about Black Innovators. Last time we spoke about Marcus Garvey. Tell the people about Khalid Muhammad and things that he stood on that make Gerald like, you know, inspired by him. And I didn't know he was part of he's a part of our frat, bro. Me and Gerald frat.
I think
So
he
he told
told
me.
the stories, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Khalid Muhammad.
Man, how do I describe Khalid Muhammad? How do I explain this man? From Houston, Texas. He was a football player. He wanted to be a pastor. He grew up to be a pastor. That's when he knew how to speak. Like when it comes to oratory skills, I don't think it was anybody better. Like and X
I love that.
was the standard. in my opinion, can end up being an orator.
But he was advanced.
Yeah, and then you have King. King could like make you, like, all right, cool. X would make you like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even Ali could make you do that, But Garvey could make you do that. Garvey, when he really started spitting, I got like Garvey speeches on my phone. Actually, it's on iTunes if y'all want to look it up.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But Khalid Muhammad just make you want to just go grab whatever gun or knife you got in your house and just go walk with him, like wherever he goes. Like he just made you just want to just buy in. Like he was able to tap in with rappers, the gangsters, all that. He could go to different educators and all these people that think they know. Or how do I say this the best way? He was so well rounded in the fact that he would punch you in the face. He would probably pop you, but he could also like just destroy you intellectually. Like he was never off cue. Like you could never catch him off guard. Like the man knew. I mean, I would say everything, but he was just so well versed on so many. He was well versed on African spirituality. He was well versed in martial arts. He said he did martial arts. He was well versed in economics. He was well versed in you name it. Like,
these are things that divine action stands on.
Yeah,
economics, self-defense.
So self-consciously, maybe something that came into it when I was thinking about him. But I'm just thinking like when you think of like this dude, he tapped in with Idi Amin. I think that's his name. When he was trying to like Khalid Muhammad went over there and was like he signed up to fight with them. Like he went this dude from Houston, Texas, brother from Houston, Texas, went over to Africa. It was a different reason, but he ended up going linking up with Idi Amin. He was willing to fight in a war with a whole different African country.
Wow.
Like, so that ain't Pan-Africanism. Like they was talking about getting like a Pan-African army trying to get assembled. Like he was like in the middle of that.
Yeah.
And like he got Gaddafi. Gaddafi. That's how you pronounce his name, Gaddafi.
Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah, that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah.
He was in cahoots with him, talking to him, and that's how he was able to. Gaddafi gave like a $5 million loan to the NOI back in the day because of that relationship they had there.
You know, it's crazy because that's fact. I definitely remember when I was doing some history.
Mm-hmm.
I remember seeing Gaddafi and the Khalid guy together. I definitely remember seeing.
Yeah,
That's
man.
crazy.
Yeah.
What would you consider the best ways? Like, what was the most latest book you would recommend to learn about Khalid?
Oh, the Book of Khalid. He was just so, like, how do you say, like, he just was infectious with the way he was able, like I said, he was able to get people to buy in. Like, he was able to recruit. Like, he had no fear. He was the head of the Fruit of Islam, and he was like the head speaker of the NOI, at the same time, which apparently was unheard of, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, he just was so, like, I remember it was some, I think it was the United Jewish League or something like that. It was like a group, a political group for Jews or whatever. And like, I guess they had like a big standoff with the NOI at this one point. And like, there was this one dude that was just talking cash, talking cash shit. And this Khalid Muhammad, as smart brother, well versed, wanted to be a pastor, could speak his mind. He didn't need to put his hands on nobody, get his point across. He walked up to the dude and punched him in the face and knocked him the fuck out. And just went back to what he was doing. Like, it's like when you think of a perfect revolutionary, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I had to mold one, it's like, like this dude had,
It's powerful.
Yeah, like he had the intellect of X, and then like he might have been smart.
If you don't mind me asking,
yeah,
not to cut you off, forgive
no,
me.
you good.
What was the cause of his
his death?
Yeah, his demise. Hope he wasn't assassinated.
It's Well, I read brain aneurysm. I don't know if I believe that. I got to finish the book, then maybe I'll look at the end. Maybe he could clear it up for me. Mr. Shabazz could clear it up for me more.
Yeah.
But I read aneurysm on the internet, but I could never confirm it. So I just I thought they had. I mean, this guy was he was censored by the government. Like the government didn't. They just we don't want you to. They don't want him to speak.
Yeah, because
he was
exiled. He had conviction. It seems.
Yeah, he just. But
I gotta get on Khalid Muhammad.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing though. Like he knew what was coming out of his mouth. But he started this. He started like a paramilitary organization. Like this guy did it all.
Wow.
Like he was able to get the Bloods and the Crips back in he was actually, I didn't even know that he was the reason that the LA riots went the way it did, because he was instilling that they had secret meetings between the Bloods and the Crips and Khalid Muhammad and the NOI. And
he was around that. He was around.
Yeah, he was in LA. So he
around them towns?
he was in LA. He was big in LA. He was big in Harlem. He was big in he was pretty well known in DC, but I don't think he really did in DC that long. But he went back to Houston, if I'm not mistaken, and he was well known in Chicago. Chicago was the hub for the NOI.
Yeah.
And like during this time, the NOI they were at odds, just like Malcolm X and NOI were at odds at a point. Because Khalid Muhammad was really about like, it's in order for you to be free, it's gonna be some living, it's gonna be some dying, it's gonna be some killing.
Yeah.
Like that's what his mindset. And there's a lot of conservative NOI members that didn't really in Chicago that didn't really agree with that.
Yeah.
But like Khalid Muhammad had a lot of backroom meetings with, like, I was just reading in the book about the Bloods and the Crips, and it was like talking about a peace treaty. And then like what was so crazy is when the riots happened, Khalid Muhammad wasn't able to do it because it came from the NOI main hub in Chicago, and Minister Farrakhan told him not to engage. NOI don't engage in that. He was so upset over that. That's what the guy in the book was talking about, how upset Khalid Muhammad was. He wasn't able to join in because he would have.
Yeah.
Like he would have had no.
Sound like he had no fear.
He had no fear at all, man. He was truly a militant scholar, like a warrior scholar.
Would you? I mean, comparisons are thief of joy, but when you look at Marcus Garvey, who would you say like had the most reach in terms of like?
Well, I mean,
because Garvey was able to get to Latin America,
Garvey's ideology was able to spread even back to Africa. When you see a lot of different, because during the 20th century there was a lot of uprisings in Africa, against colonization. And then with those different revolutions, the ideology behind it had a lot of Pan-African roots in it.
Yep.
A lot of Garveyism in it. If I'm not mistaken, Nkrumah was a Garveyite, and I think he was a Pan-African. Thomas Sankara and Burkina Faso, that he was a Pan-African. Then you got a Baptist. I think his name is Baptist. He's in was it Grenada or Barbados? He was a Pan-African. And it goes on and on. I mean, even Amin was a Pan-African. Yeah. I mean, it's so many. His spread was. I mean, yeah. When it comes to who he was able to touch, what Garvey was able to do,
it was widespread.
It's such a short time frame.
Yeah, and then like with the shipping company he had, and then with the Negro World newspaper he had, he's able to get people to just buy in all over. Like Garvey had hella chapters in Canada, a bunch throughout America. Like you said, he even had some in Mexico, other places in Latin America, the Caribbean, Europe, even in Africa. So like his reach was amazing. And you know what I'm saying? And I
give thanks.
Yeah, like Garvey, I mean,
Jamaica, man.
They put him through hell. Yeah. Hoover and A. Philip Randolph, I think that's his name. And then W.B. Du Bois.
They like W.E.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey was just like
they clashed, bro.
They clashed. They couldn't commingle.
Du Bois said that he was like the greatest threat to the Negro race in America, because he said, and like they had a whole I can't remember the exact name, like Get Rid of Garvey campaign. It was him, it was Du Bois, Randolph, and all these other bourgeoisie Negroes back during that era, that the early 20th century, were just like, it was like, no, we don't want you to take our people away, or no, we don't want to be separated. And then Du Bois was really heavy into integration. That was his thing. He felt that, due to NAACP, that goes. But he felt that we needed to be integrated into American society. Garvey was a separatist, just like Khalid Muhammad was ideally a separatist, and like they didn't believe that we need to be integrated into their society to survive. We actually need, and Garvey really wanted to establish, his own country, own government, own economic system, own social system. So, I mean, Garvey, his reach was unlike any other. Yeah. As you can see, that Pan-African flag, that red, black, and green, that flag.
Ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, and I mean, look at people after him. They wore it heavy. Yeah. Like, I mean, and you think of the 90s, man. 90s was so Pan-African and
Oriented,
militant.
yeah.
Yeah, like it was.
That's probably the most Pan-African oriented time.
I was
ever.
thinking, outside of when Garvey initially started it, I mean, like you didn't really you knew about Pan-Africanism, but you didn't know like when people were going hardcore militant RBG.
Yeah.
So one thing I say as an educator, like I make stuff very simple so everybody can understand. That's why I like Garvey. That's why I like Khalid Muhammad, because like when they taught how they spoke, they never spoke like they were above anybody.
Yeah.
Even Malcolm X, he never spoke like he was above anybody. You look at it, you read their transcripts. There wasn't a lot of crazy verbiage and crazy words. Everything was just very straightforward. Anybody can understand it. That's why he was able to recruit people that were like, you know, drug dealers or using or prostitutes or
connected to the streets.
Yeah, connected to the streets for real. I mean, the boys were not connected to the streets.
Yeah.
So him and A. Philip Randolph, that's why they was like, yo, Garvey, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? So
Because he was seeing how much love Garvey was getting.
yeah, and I always try to give a shout out to his wife, Amy Jock Garvey.
You put me on recently. I did a whole like 4 or 5 hour history, lesson for myself, and
Yeah.
she the reason why people even know about Marcus Garvey so much.
Yeah, there's a book on her called The Veil Garvey. Y'all check out The Veil Garvey. It's a lot of it's deep. For me, I gotta reread it. But ideally, like, Garvey, Miss Garvey, Amy Jock Garvey, when Garvey was going through all his issues, she kept, the UNIA afloat. Because I think, Garvey went to jail, and then he got deported, and then he passed away. That was like his final years. It was really sad. He got caught for mail fraud because Hoover, punk ass, couldn't get him on anything else.
Is this where they say like he wasn't as much of a businessman? This is where that comes in.
You can definitely argue the business model may have been a little flawed. Yeah, it may have been a little flawed. Everybody, no one's perfect. So I get that, and I get those critiques. So I also get his critiques where he might have lost his mind towards the end when he was trying to prove separatism, his separatist ideology with aligning with some white supremacist group or something. I'm still dealing with that because I'm like, yeah, you want to show why we need to stay away from these motherfuckers, by bringing the head of like a white supremacist organization, but I personally wouldn't do that. So yeah, Garvey might have just been stressed out.
Like you said, everybody is not perfect.
Yeah,
but thankful for his wife.
Yeah, she kept the name alive. She kept we wouldn't know as much about Garvey if it wasn't for her. And she became one of the mothers of Pan-Africanism, and that was a beautiful thing. I mean, actually, it's funny. Garvey was married to someone named Amy Ashwood Garvey.
And I seen that recently too.
Yeah, and she was wilding.
Yeah. So, because Amy Jock is considered his second wife.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she was actually like his mentee almost.
Mm-hmm.
But Amy Ashwood wanted to live a certain lifestyle, and Garvey was not with it, so they just didn't work. I'll let y'all read the book. I don't want to give her lifestyle away, but yeah, she was living, she was doing her thing, and Garvey was like, nah. So, but yeah, Garvey was, when it comes to reach, I don't think there's anybody that you can really say. I mean, he was able, like I said, touch so many countries, and like you look at I think it was they were celebrating the colors finally the colors being chosen for RBG when the flag became the flag and the colors just to have it was celebrated last year, and so a bunch of people in Brazil, Grenada, posted. Barbados, all throughout the Caribbean,
and
Latin America.
Recent.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. It's a thing. It is a beautiful thing to see. That's one thing I would love to do, and be able to tap in with other Pan-Africanists throughout the country, throughout the world. That's a dream, though.
That's a dream.
It's a possibility
that we going to happen. It's going to happen.
Bring those conferences back. They used to have those big Pan-African conferences back in the early days.
Yeah,
it would be a good thing. So it's something to think about. But what comes with that? Because I know there's way more well-versed scholars on on these matters than me. I'm more or less, like I said, I know what I know, and I defer to people that know more. Definitely when it comes to economics and stuff like that. I'm more like youth development is my thing. I work with children. self-defense is my thing. I like martial arts, so I
You gotta be open-minded.
Yeah, I'm in my lane. I stay in my lane. You know what I'm saying? I
look,
do that.
before we do get out of here, I do want you to tell the people what is divine action. You know, they can follow Divine Action on Instagram as well.
Got you.
But like, tell the people what is Divine Action, and
refresh the people's mind.
You know, they need to know what you're doing. That's excellent. Black Victory, what you got going on. So
okay, so Divine Action, we started back in June of last year. We were in other organizations. We were part of the D9, and we all came from a certain mentality that we wanted to do more, more radical, or just to be able to have a organization that we could call our own, with how we can move how we want without any type of restrictions. The D9 does have some restrictions, and they also have certain policies that some of us just don't believe in anymore, or just don't want to adhere to. So we started our organization, and our purpose is to just really get Black people to understand that we are the solution for our problems. Black people, Black solutions, and Black power. Like, it's a beautiful thing. And we do that, through economics, we do that through education, youth development, self-defense. It's like, those pillars right there are so essential to the Black experience. Like, that's what, when I read about all these different, leaders, and I took pieces out of it from everybody, and I sat and prayed on it. And I was like, yo, these are the pillars that's going to get us by. Because, without our youth, without education, without economics, without self-defense, it's just, and also mental and physical health, and also mental and physical health, like, those components will bring, like, some real revolutionary change. And we want to do it on our own. We selected our colors because we also align with Pan-Africanism. Everybody that's a part, everybody that's a part of Divine Action right now really believes in Pan-Africanism, but you also have to be well versed. So there's a book list that we have. It's a Google Drive that we have that I think I sent you. I sent you the Google Drive.
I mean, every day.
So it's a Google Drive we send with like a bunch of literature to get people more up to date and more understanding of different aspects of the Black experience. So it makes it easier for when we have our discussions as Divine Action members. We also became incorporated last year, and we just got cleared for our 501c3. So that was
clap, yes.
And we also received a grant not too long ago as well, but people are really buying into our work. We have done numerous programs. We had a concealed carry sponsorship program we did for Black women. We got about 30 between 30 and 50. I got to look at the numbers again. 30 and 50 Black women that concealed carry permits.
That's a good showing.
We gave away some self-defense keychains. We partnered with a Black-owned business. Got some self-defense keychains. Yeah. What else we did? We did a Stay Warm initiative where we were able to give donations, like gloves, hats, scarves, to like 5 different shelters in 5 different cities. So we were able to cover them all.
Essentials.
So that was a beautiful thing. What else have we done? Man, we done we were able to service Wi-Fi for a family.
Oh, wow.
So
that's
we just
nice.
Giving back. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's about.
So it was a remote learning initiative that we did. We went down to Galveston, Texas for Juneteenth. We did numerous marches. What else have we done? We did a back to school drive as well. And actually, we're about to start getting a little political. So stay tuned for that.
Stay tuned.
Get into politics a bit.
I won't be surprised if I go on channel 12, you right there, the suit. Action chain.
I don't know about suit, but you might come on there.
You gonna have a whip.
Real comfortable.
You gonna have an African whip.
Real comfortable.
Man.
You probably go in there real comfortable.
Yeah, I think at some point, we have to get into politics. We're actually thinking right now about starting a summer youth program. We're gonna work with the school. And shout out to Seneca Village. They're a really good, they're a charter school, if I'm not mistaken. They give us a bunch of donations, preschool, if I'm not mistaken. And
in the city?
Yeah, they're right on. They're actually like 5 minutes from here.
Oh, really?
What street is that? I can't remember that street. It was a really weird street I never heard of, but it's definitely in the Heights.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Divine Action. we're small. We don't have a lot of members, but that's fine. We have about 20. We all spread out. We got people in California, Georgia, North Carolina, Texas, heavy, DC, Virginia, Maryland, New York, New Jersey. So we're in Florida too. So we're pretty spread out, and we're also very welcoming. We just have to be, we're Black first, so take that how you may. And we really work with all different types of organizations. Black organizations that focus specifically on the betterment of our people. And we try to not allow too many outside entities to control what we got going on. So, but end of the day, if you want to work with us and we're on the same thought pattern, same mindset, we can always make something shake.
Tell them the website.
So it's www.dainc, DAINC, .net. It's DAINC.net. And when you go click on there, you can find our Instagram page, which is divine_action. Our Twitter is divine_action. Facebook is divine action. If you want to donate, we have our Cash App. We do have Carpet Bank, so that's a Black-owned bank. Actually, they made us a lot of money on this. Made me a lot of money in the stock market last year.
You said I gotta give them credit.
Yeah. Shout out to Carmen. So we're gonna reopen another account with Carmen.
Okay.
So, but yeah, man. Divine Action. We looking to be here for a minute. We're coming up on 1 year in June, so that'll be cool. It's a dream, man. I prayed on this. Had a vision,
and it's here.
Yeah, it's here. So
Black liberation. Shout out to Divine Action. Just want to applaud you for everything you're doing. 100%. All those initiatives. The summer youth program that's coming up in the summer. Be happy to help as well. Just everything that you're doing, bro. Because we need Black progress, bro. I say that all the time. You know what I'm saying? Black victory on all horizons. So applaud you, King, for what you're saying. So much love, bro.
Much love, baby. Could have been anywhere else.
Nah, it's all good though.
All the time,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate you, baby. 100%.
Man. Still Sharpn Steel.
Got it bumping.